Why is... Okay, that was weird. For some reason, my audio wasn't coming through. Alright, let's try that again. 10, 9, 8, 7. Hey world, it's Tobo. It is October the 3rd of 2014, and welcome back to the party. God, I'm so excited for tonight because, as I'm sure you well know, today, me and Warning Track are casting the Spy Party Summer Cup Grand Final. And I still have no idea who won because I've been avoiding information.
I will not spoil it for you.
Thank you.
I don't really know what to say. I want to talk about how exciting it is, but I can't.
Yeah.
It is. I can say that it's a good set, and there's some really exciting stuff in it. That's all I can tell you. I feel like that's fair.
Yes. Ah, man, I'm so excited about this set. I'm trying to think if there's anything I need to say before we get started. I don't think there is. So let's just get right on into this. Starting things out. Again, this is Magician versus CanadianBacon. Starting things out on the ballroom, any 4 of 6, with CanadianBacon on the spy and Magician on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Good old ballroom.
Good
first map most
old
of us
ballroom.
ever played. Yep. My first game was here. Yours probably was too.
Indeed it was. This is still one of my favorite maps, other than, like, New High. Oh, God! Oh, no, that's not a good start!
He couldn't resist. He was drawn to the drawn bug.
Okay, for anyone who missed that, let me give an instant replay from the sniper's point of view. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Those of us who played a little bit like to call that waving to the sniper, because you
Yes.
might as well be just going, "Hey, it's me. Shoot me in the head, please."
Yep. Yeah, it's just,
And he did.
It's one of those little things that it's just, no, don't do that. It's not a good idea.
The reason that gets so many people, and this happened to me a lot, is that if you don't see it coming well in advance, and you usually don't when they walk by, you really have like a fraction of a second to decide, which is actually not long enough to decide whether or not it's a good decision.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's really just reacting. It's like someone threw a ball at you, and you either catch it on instinct or you don't. And that case, the ball hit him in the head, and the ball was a bullet, and he's dead.
Yeah, there are exactly 2 things you do when someone throws a ball at you. You catch it, or you duck and cover.
Yeah, ideally. Well, I guess if you're like Neo or something, you just die. But that's what everyone tries.
That counts as catching it, though.
Right. True. Yes. Like that's what he's trying to do. The equivalent of catching something while barely looking, you know, with no reaction time. Doesn't usually go very well. But who among us can resist, Tobo?
Well, I mean, usually if I see them too late, I won't do it.
Yeah.
But I think that's just instinct by this point. So Magician goes up by 1, stepping in to the second game is he's on the spy, CanadianBacon on the sniper, in 3, 2, 1, playing it. So it is going to be no fingerprint, no swap, are the 2 missions that were pulled off.
Not going for the early flirt because the seduction target was at the window. That kind of kills that. We talk about how people love to do it, but when they act like this, going to windows and paintings, not so easy.
You can do it at the window, but it tends to be a tad more suspicious so early on.
Right. And there's a decent chance they're going to run. So I understand why he wouldn't want to do it, but he's determined to get something done in the early going here. I can't imagine he would have inspected otherwise, except that the flirt really wasn't available for the first 30 seconds.
Goes to the statue, center statue, incredibly early, picks up his inspect, does not get highlight from what I can see.
One of the nice things about playing Bacon is he doesn't automatically highlight for statues. It also means you don't know for sure.
Oh, God!
Oh, boy.
That's
they just
bad.
sort of jammed in there.
That's
yeah,
bad.
both of them.
I
they
thought
wanted
he was
that
just,
same spot.
I thought he was just going to walk right on through when he started that.
I think he did as well as he could have. Other than avoiding the collision completely, I think he did the next best thing, which is he just sort of accepted that he was pigeonholed there.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is I thought he was going to walk right in front of the ambassador and snuggle in where Purple Dress is now.
Right, right. It was nice that he resisted doing anything too crazy, and it worked out okay. Got a float.
Indeed. Worked out for him. Nice little drink cancels with the briefcase there. Good way to shed some... It's a good way to shed some suspicion, especially since fingerprint is off.
Yeah, really solid micro so far, and Bacon is the kind of person who will think about low-lighting you for that.
Indeed. Picks up the second flirt on the green test. Both of them on the green test, actually, up to 90% at this point, which is pretty darn solid.
Yeah, not bad.
Running a tad low on time, only a minute and 30 left.
Often like this, when you're on your second flirt and you need a third, you'd want a flirt timer, but at this point he can't afford to. He's got to go do something.
Indeed.
Or something can come to him.
Hello, guest list. That's a white test, though. That's incredibly dangerous. I don't think Bacon has noticed it yet. He hasn't zoomed in at all.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not watching he's not tracking the guest list much right now. See if he sips or gulps.
I think this was a clean purloin. Yeah, and there another take comes off, and now he zooms in on it. But does he know? The magician has picked up a low light.
I don't know if that was deliberate or not. He was walking in front of the cursor when it happened. Hard to say.
He didn't get re-neutral it though. He does have his last flirt done. 40 seconds left to play and 1 mission to go. Double agent is available. That looks like what he's going for now. Is not banana breading yet though. 30 seconds left to play. This should be magician's game.
Yeah, unless something awful happens.
Like a red banana bread.
Or the DA bailing and not coming back.
That's
the
true.
Risk.
There's the banana bread coming off on a white test, and considering the low light, there's really not much Bacon can do here. And Magician comes out to a quick 2-game lead up with the first set on a sweep.
Yeah, I think the lowlights really threw him off. It really looked like Bacon was going to let the time run out. I don't think he thought he was done with missions. I'll bet you he was surprised by that one.
I think so.
He didn't look like he was even thinking about shooting either of his highlights, even though they were both in conversation when the BB went off. Very interesting.
Well, I think if he hadn't gotten a couple of bad lowlights off of that purloin, he might have taken a shot. But when the BB comes off, he's like, I don't think either of these people can reasonably be done.
Right, right. So that leads to a logical but ultimately incorrect assumption. It makes perfect sense, though.
Yeah, it does. So, very, very strong start coming out of Magician as he picks up his first 2 games on the ballroom. He's up in the balcony next. Canadian Bacon starting us off in 3, 2, 1, playing it. It is going to be classic balcony, which means mission set is bug, contact, and seduce on any 2 of 3. Getting ready to get things started. A quick 26% on the flirt. Not as close as he would have liked. Picks up a
highlight
drink.
For walking. Only 1 highlight. No highlight for early talkers. Just 1 for going around the AMBA maybe there for the DA. Either that or not liking the path.
It's hard to say on balcony, especially.
Yeah, a lot of guesswork in both the highlights and the lowlights, so even more in guessing why they happen.
Indeed. Should be able to pick up another flirt here. Hits a white for 54%. This is a problem because he is going to need a green test, and a fairly close green test if he wants to 3-flirt this.
But he has been staying put pretty much the whole time. Just got that going for him. No highlight.
That's true. BB comes off on the green. Double agent gets low lit.
And Yellow Danger, who already had a highlight, was right in the middle of talking. It was very well timed. If he's trying to frame Yellow Danger, that was perfect.
It's looking solid if he can get this last flirt off on the green test. That's what this all comes down to. Seduction target is being weird.
Teased him a little with the location there.
Indeed. Can he hit the screen? He should be close enough if he can.
Close, maybe.
He cannot. It's the white test. He may have to step away from this, and even then, I don't know if it's going to happen. 15 seconds left to play with double agent. Sorry, the seduction target steps away. He might need a little bit more distance in order to get this flirt working for him. 8 seconds left to play. Steps away to the window. Here we go. 4 seconds. Does he step back in and go for it? He needs it. There it is. Goes for the flirt. Goes for the dance. Oh my God, the dance behind Yellow Danger. Is he going to get it? The time is so low. And the shot comes off on the wrong person. Canadian Bacon with a huge finish there. Oh my God.
That was desperate times, I guess. He was very close to going down 3-0.
Holy mackerel, that was an
And
amazing little move from Canadian Bacon here. A game that he really should not have won. But
I have nothing but disdain for that. Oh my goodness. You know, I gotta say there was a moment when he came out to the right from the sniper's perspective of Yellow Danger where he actually could have been shot very easily, and I think Magician was just moving the other way. Boy, that's pretty bad. But it worked. It does work sometimes.
Yeah. Able to find the cover and stay behind it.
Of course, an innocent person gets shot, but
well,
who cares
the
about
person
that?
who wound up getting shot, if you'll notice, was actually Toby.
Oh, yes.
Makes
well,
it even worse.
Toby, not innocent. We know. Toby's seen some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Toby's seen some stuff.
Those are really hard to watch. I'm sure it was even harder to live through, but pretty hard to watch. It's hard to watch for both of them. You feel bad that it's happening, and then you feel bad that it worked, and the whole thing just makes you feel icky.
Yeah. Still, though, pretty impressive stuff that he was able to play off the laser's position and the rest of the party so well that he was so well behind cover for 10 straight seconds.
Yeah, I really feel like there's only one opening, which is pretty hard to get, but for the most part, he stayed right there. You only have to get him once, though, because of that lock-on thing. So
yeah.
But I'm really impressed that he was able to avoid even allowing that.
So Canadian Bacon with a really clutch finish there on the dance. Let's see if Magician can answer back as he steps into the spiral on classic balcony. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And let's see if Magician can avoid being rattled by just missing that he frankly kind of deserved.
Super fast white banana bread coming off the top of this game.
2-3 people talking though. None of them get highlights. Bacon doesn't highlight like traditional human beings.
One very solid low light coming out of him, but I'd say that was a very solid start for Magician.
And again, though, just like Magician, no real highlights for any of the early talkers, which is pretty common these days. So very, very unusual there that neither of them would do that.
Ooh, the highlight for the path back into the conversation. It seemed pretty good to me, but Bacon didn't like it.
He did walk behind the Amba, I think, but that didn't look very suspicious, frankly, so I don't know. Could be either one.
Was able to get the green flirt off for the 51% there.
That can help a lot, especially if you're against someone who likes to count talks, and Bacon will definitely notice if you have to talk 3 or 4 times.
Absolutely.
So one more green, he could be okay here.
Steps away at the 45-second mark, which is exactly the time spies usually step away.
Whoa.
Oh my god, what a massive shot that was coming off of Bacon.
I have to assume that he was worried about a window flirt there at the end. Well, maybe with Top Hat. Very strange though.
Yeah.
Very aggressive.
That's the only thing
there
I
was
can think.
There's a pause before the drink. Not a big pause, but enough that maybe it could be a flirt. And he was hanging out in the other conversation for a fair bit. So I guess he decided at that point, you know, if it is Top Hat, if it is Buck Swaggle, he could be done.
Yeah.
Those window flirts can make you very nervous. If he stood at the far end, maybe, or gone to the other window, maybe he lives.
Yeah, indeed. Magician said he didn't like his spin when I'm not entirely sure what that means in the context of this game. I didn't really notice a spin, but
it's another dancing related thing. The last 2 games have been all about dancing.
Yes, but Canadian Bacon, after the clutch little dance move he pulled off in the first balcony game, has managed to tie things up 2-2 as we step into Courtyard. So, man, that dance was epic. I'm still a little bit.
If he can pull this out, that's going to be brutal.
Indeed.
It's going to be agonizing.
Yeah. All right. So stepping into Courtyard 2, Canadian Bacon on the spiral here in any 4 of 6. Courtyard 2 with no swap. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Your fingerprint on. Not a bad choice here. When you combine that with Inspect, usually there's at least 1 or 2 AIs who could theoretically be finished, and it can get very hard enough.
Oh, the Insta-Purloin! And the Insta-shot coming off of it.
Wow. That and the bug, those are 2 games he's given away immediately as Spy.
Yeah, here's the thing though. That super fast purloin can be very strong, not only because
Oh, yeah.
like that's a mission that people don't usually pay a hell of a lot of attention to that early on.
Yeah, oh, that'll get a lot of people. That'll get a lot of really good players,
Yeah.
frankly. And if you hit a green too, it can be devastating. You can have
Absolutely.
no idea. And frankly, you can miss it so badly that you don't even really get to make even aggressive lowlights, even
Yeah.
if you want to be aggressive about it. Like it's just a free mission. So that can be a very big deal. So I don't necessarily dislike the choice, but
Yeah.
obviously, Magician all over it, and White Test probably doesn't help. Bacon missing a lot of ATs, I think, so far.
It was despite how fast that game went by, it was a good, solid play, and I agree with the idea. It just didn't wind up working out for him.
Yeah, maybe Magician just isn't one of the kind of players who misses that quite as often as some of the others. I do feel like I detect a little bit of a correlation between how often people miss the super quick purloin and people who played a lot of games before purloin went in. Because those people have really honed their first 20 seconds, of routine on most of these maps, and then they had to add purloin in after, 3,000 games. I wonder if that maybe they're a little slower to adjust than that the people who started playing more after.
That's a very good point. Not something I had noticed.
Certainly something I've had trouble with for that very reason.
Well, let's see what Magician can do on the spiral. Perhaps continue this match's series of sweeps.
Yes.
And it is going to be, once again, no swap on any 4 of 6 Courtyard 2 in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Interesting that when Fingerprint first came in, people almost always took off Purloin as the mission. And now people are starting to leave that in favor of pulling off the swap.
Yeah, I think it still is a little easier than swap, and it's a little easier to sneak in, frankly.
And the red.
Swap is still a little hard.
Really fast start coming out of Magician here with the 34% flirt into the contact double agent. 34, for those of you who don't know, being the highest percentage you can get off a white test banana bread, off a white test flirt.
Sorry, I reacted to a momentary low light.
Yes.
Yeah, bumped them right back up.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that was about, but
It's like a misclick, yeah.
yeah, it did look like a misclick, which is fine. 2 minutes left to play. Magician with some good, solid progress so far.
Yeah, Bacon too, though. Got some solid lowlights.
He has at that.
He's got the party down to a pretty manageable size already, so this could be tough for Magician to pull out.
No highlight for him as of yet. He's been able to keep a low profile so far. Picks up a white test once more, this time from a bit more of a distance to bring him to 56%. So, if he wants to 3-flirt, it's going to need to be green. Does pick up the highlight for the statue visit.
Even people who don't normally highlight for statues or don't always highlight for statues, they kind of have to in this format. It makes a lot of sense here with the inspect.
And you especially have to when it was a fingerprintable.
Ooh, yeah, I wonder if he noticed that.
So, 1 fingerprint done. Minute and 10 left to play. If he can get flirt and fingerprint done, the low light coming off. This could be very bad for Canadian Bacon. Magician, though, thinks he's highlight.
Probably, yeah. I gotta say, though, I mean, it's interesting that he basically decides, I don't think he would go there and hang out in that empty conversation.
Indeed, a very behavioral low light that does cause problems for Mr. Bacon. The flirtation is done at this point. Can Magician find another fingerprint?
Bacon gets some very good aggressive lowlights, but the downside is that, yeah, 1 game out of 6 or 7 or something like that, you're going to lowlight the spy. Because you're not taking hard lowlights, you're taking soft ones.
It's very true.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if, you're Veery in Android form. You're going to mess that up sometimes. You're going to lowlight the spy. You have to be okay with that if you're going to do it that way.
It's an incredibly powerful move when it's possible. The difficult fingerprint coming off does not work. 15 seconds left to play. What's the plan?
Brutal.
The Hail Mary bug does not come off! The second Hail Mary bug does!
Oh my goodness!
Only because of the low light. Only because of the low light.
And then Magician slams into Toby. I think he thinks he's dancing, but he's not. I gotta say, I gotta imagine, Magician can confirm this in chat, he's got to be sitting there thinking, how am I not dead? After even the first one, let alone the second, let alone slamming into Damon, running around, probably thought he was dancing for his life.
Oh my goodness. We have had some incredible finishes.
You know what this means now, Tobo? Dance off. That's
Absolutely.
what it is. See, Bacon served him. Magician got served, and now it's on.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. Magician just served him right back, if I understand the parlance correctly.
Okay. Let's give us a little bit of a recap.
Yes.
Canadian Bacon comes out of the gate on Ballroom with an unfortunately timed bug and winds up giving up the two-piece on Ballroom to Magician, who starts things off 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
Canadian Bacon then comes out of the gate on Balcony with the most ridiculous dance finish I have seen in a very long time. Winning a game he really shouldn't have.
Should have been doing it as Revolta, frankly. But
yeah, that's very true. Winds up bringing it back with the sweep to 2-2.
Yeah.
And then Magician on the spiral takes a huge low light on a behavioral misstep from Canadian Bacon to once again sweep another map for 4-2 in Magician's favor, going in to High Rise.
It feels like a lot of back and forth, and it feels close, but think about it. It's 4-2, and one of his losses was dancing that happened to work. He could easily be up 5-1 right now.
Absolutely.
So you got to say, I think he's playing
then again, he could easily not have gotten that low light.
Right.
It goes both ways.
It depends on whether or not you want to give him more credit for one or detriment for the other. It's a little hard to say, but the point is he's playing very well and in a pretty good position.
Well, we'll see what Canadian Bacon has to say about this one. It's going to be any 3 of 5 High Rise.
Yeah, very brutal game mode. People still getting used to it. Meta's still evolving, so a lot of things can happen.
This is a very behavioral game type, though, which I think likely benefits Bacon a little bit more than it does Magician.
A little bit more, I would say so. I would say that's a bigger part of his game, particularly on the spy side where he likes to get civilian shot because he's heartless.
Yes.
He likes to do that quite a bit, so that plays very well into this format.
Absolutely. So the mission choice for Bacon is Bug, Contact, Inspect, Seduce, Purloin. So pulling off Fingerprint in favor of the guest list. We'll see how he's able to play this in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Pretty unusual. Purloin's tough on this map. A lot of people like to leave Fingerprint on and give themselves at least a chance at an all-Softail finish.
Indeed.
Ooh, early statue visits. That's helpful.
And it was the AI that brought him there, too. It is a center statue to make things even worse. But at that point, you don't have a choice. You just take the mission from it and try to lay low from there on.
The only alternative is to stop dead and turn quickly, which I think people like to do way too much and can really get you shot almost immediately.
Indeed.
I think you gotta roll with it.
So, nice slow start after the statues, not going in for the flirt early, not straying too close to anybody, yet not talking too quickly. This is a very well-played follow-up to the statues from Bacon, even pulling a drink innocently.
Yeah, he's like, if I'm not going to flirt, I'm going to look as innocent as possible in this other conversation at least.
Does pick up a flirt on the white test for 33%.
Well, another white test flirt. I think they pretty much all have been. That's definitely making it tougher on him.
Indeed, it is.
Doesn't usually matter too much, but when you need, it doesn't matter too much as long as you still hit a few.
Yeah.
You know, maybe one a game, a little less than that. But when you hit almost none, then it actually changes how you have to play spy because you have to plan for 3 or 4.
Absolutely. And 4 is never a situation you want to be in. It's easier on this game type because you have time advantage as the spy, but still.
You don't need to green a bunch of them, but you need to green them sometimes. It really helps out.
Indeed.
Looks like he's going to wait for that cooldown timer. A popular thing to do, I've noticed.
Does. There's his green test, up to 84%.
I notice people like to either do that with their first flirt, or first and second flirts, or second and third, usually, you know.
It's a big chance for the banana bread here. Someone steps away at a very inopportune moment. Two people do. That's a terrible position. Letting off two hard low lights. With the banana bread done, just needs one more flirt to finish it up, though. And will Buckswoggle be willing to hang around for the timer?
It depends on how closely he was watching. Both highlights left. Only one technically left right before. That was green dress. Purple left right after, so he might actually be more suspicious of her. But the fact that he only had two highlights and one of them had left, that's a big deal.
Here's the thing. Yeah, the shot comes off. But here's what I want to say. It wasn't purple dress leaving right after, although that did happen. It was, I think it was green dress who left before, like right after it started. And then right before the banana bread actually came off, White Danger steps out of the conversation as well.
Gotcha. I think he might have, I'm not sure if he loaded him or not, although he certainly wasn't high-lit.
Yeah.
Green dress that was a big one to lose.
Absolutely.
I remember watching a part of this live. I remember it was just very good instincts on that shot. He just kind of realized that red maybe could be done, or thought she could be done. CanadianBacon, I remember at the time, very surprised he was shot. And I was very surprised the Magician took the shot because it's a very tough shot to take, but really good instincts on that one. Little help there with green dress, though, for sure.
He played a very solid game there. I think giving up that low light, he had no way of knowing he was going to, but giving up that low light on green dress, I think, is what wound up losing him that game.
Yeah, if green dress is still out there and still could have been BB'd, I think, maybe red dress is still top suspect, but he definitely doesn't shoot there. I think he almost definitely waits it out a little bit and tries to decide which one he likes more for it. So that definitely didn't help. But, that's one of the risks with BBing at all on high rise. You know, it's like it's same thing with balcony. So
it's very true. But on balcony, you can usually almost guarantee at least you can almost guarantee on balcony that you're not going to let off more than one low light.
Yeah, ideally at least. But you really can't afford many more though here on high rise. It's still a small enough cast that one is fine, but two is almost too many.
Yeah.
Right away. You know what I mean? It's like there's no middle ground.
Yeah.
If you get one or less, great job. If you get two, you gave up a lot. And if you lose three, it's a huge deal. But if you lose two and one of them was a highlight, I don't know how much you've really gained there. That's pretty tough.
The thing that makes that so brutal is when he started that, everyone was in conversation. Everyone that wasn't a cast member was in conversation.
It was a good decision, yeah. It was understandable.
So suddenly, CanadianBacon on the sniper roll, fighting just to make sure he doesn't fall behind any farther than he already has. He's fighting for a 1 deficit here as Magician steps into the spiral. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and Bacon really up against the wall here.
And this one is Force Soft and Bug, as standard as it gets.
Yeah, and frankly, if your life depended on a win, this is what you'd want to pick. It really is. It really does give you the best chance. I can understand wanting to mix it up a little bit, but in a vacuum, this is definitely the best. Not only because of the soft tells and the fact that so many people maybe could finish in any given game, but that the only hard tell leaves no trace.
Yeah,
really feeds into that paranoia even better.
It's very true.
So there's not a single mission on here that you can be sure has taken place or not. Not a single one. Except for BB, and even then it could be a fake, so you have no idea.
I would love to see a few more hard tells added to the game that leave no trace.
Yeah, those are particularly interesting, and that's a big part because you try to induce shots sometimes with the guest lists and the swaps. You want people to see them afterwards sometimes.
Indeed.
So I like the meta around certain hard tells that can be seen and certain ones that can't, and how both the spy and the sniper can use those.
I completely agree. So, Magician starting things off very slowly, able to pick up a big fingerprint off a drink though, so that's going to be a massive start.
Probably the most innocuous of the fingerprints, the drink. It's easy to forget about, especially if Purloin isn't turned on.
Very true.
You have no reason to watch it.
Yeah. Drink is the safest place to pick up a fingerprint. That highlight, though,
is he didn't like that conversation entry. It was a little wonky.
Very, very good eyes from CanadianBacon there. The Magician only getting a 34% flirt off of it.
And he lost one of his lowlights, though. He brought yellow suit back up. You know, that's one of the things about these the behavioralism highlights and lowlights. They can be very fluid.
It's true.
And you gotta wonder if maybe he brought him back up because he's a little more gun shy after lowlighting the spy just a couple games ago.
Maybe.
I definitely know behavioralists can sometimes, and this is just because they're human. You know, it's easy to lose confidence in that and second guess your highlights and lowlights, and you kind of have to be able to a little bit. But this can be the downside, is they don't always stick anymore.
Yeah.
Get burned once.
I've heard it in real-time strategy games. I've heard it referred to as retroactive defense, where
yes.
you fail to defend against something, and then afterwards, once it's all dealt with, then you put up all the defenses for it.
Never again. I will never let this happen to me again. I'm going to lose some other way, though.
Wow.
Wow.
Bacon was on him from start to finish that game.
Yeah, I think he really didn't like that path. There were no other good suspects, and frankly, not a very busy party. Very few people doing things. That probably helped a lot. Just noticed him coming back, I guess, and probably watching the drink very closely at that point when he saw 2 potential fingerprints, and he'd already heard a BB, too.
Yeah.
And he could easily be done flirting. So I think, ultimately, he felt he had to be aggressive.
Absolutely. It worked out very well for Canadian there. Yeah. Able to keep himself to the 2-game deficit.
And 5-3, I believe?
5-3 is indeed the score. High rise, the first set that was not a sweep.
Yeah, and here's what's interesting about this. Bacon is spy next, and he's down 2. So, you know, because the sniper has a natural advantage, if he can win this game, there's a very good chance he can tie it up.
Absolutely.
So this is the big one, really, out of the set.
Yeah, it really is. We'll see what he can do here. Because just due to the fact that Bacon is spying first, it feels to him more like he's going to be playing catch-up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, look, his backspin to the wall for a couple games already.
Yeah.
And he's been scraping along with some of these tough shots and avoiding the others narrowly. So if he can do it but I know he sees this. I know he sees that because he's spying first, this is the real turning point. And that if he wins this, he's got a nice head of steam and a chance to tie it up as the favorite.
Absolutely. He's been playing very, very strong on the sniper role. He just needs one big spy win. Maybe another dance-off, who knows? And if he can pull this off, he's right back in this thing.
I want a disco-themed map, Checker. I do. Come on, you could do that.
Let's see how this goes for Bacon. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. We are on the gallery. It's going to be no purloin and no fingerprint.
Dancing's an art form, too, just like painting.
It is.
So you can dance in the gallery, why not?
Instant highlight for the early statue visit.
Again for Bacon. 2 straight games this has happened.
Yeah.
Against someone who he's pretty sure, or I have to imagine he knows, is highlighting for statues.
I wasn't paying enough attention to be able to tell whether or not this was an AI visit or that was actually him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It happened pretty early. He certainly didn't resist it, though.
Indeed.
He wants to
flirt.
flirt.
Lots of people out front here.
Oh. It's almost a shame he didn't do a time ad there. It seemed like a pretty good time.
Steps into conversation, getting ready to pick up the flirt.
Yeah, I can't imagine he liked squeezing in there, but he just had to do it. He was outside already. Got his got it off.
Just barely comes off. 34% on that flirt.
It's a big deal now. He took his time standing there for a long time, and he went in and flirted and just got it off. If he'd hung out any longer, that would have been really bad.
A split second was all it would have took. Oh, that bug right out in front!
Yep.
Oh my God,
right
what a move!
Magician had already zoomed out for a good 2 seconds beforehand, totally visible, just was not looking.
Absolutely. What a play coming out of Bacon there. That could be massive.
Yeah. What's interesting is you usually do that hoping/assuming that they're zoomed in, which is a pretty decent bet and a good risk to take. He wasn't zoomed in and it still wasn't seen. So
Indeed.
Sometimes raw aggression can pay off like that.
Does pick up the green test on the flirt, up to 81% right now.
Wow, yellow, very helpful. Keeps coming back and then leaving again.
Absolutely.
I guess they are brothers.
Gets knocked right back down to neutral light right as the BB comes off.
Very interesting.
Low lights, low lights, low lights, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Minute and 20 left to play. He's stepping in for his inspects now, I believe. He is indeed doing just that. Does get high lit once more, but I don't... Oh, wow, look at that. Danger Brothers on the synchronized statues.
Yep. They do everything alike.
Yeah.
Yeah, and gets us another statue highlight, though. He gets one for going to statues, gets bumped back down, then gets another for going again.
Indeed.
I wonder if it's going to register that this is his second visit.
Finishes up the inspects, though. All he needs is one more flirt. Gonna watch Yellow Danger, see where he goes.
Plenty of time. Uh-oh, he goes to bookshelves.
Can't give chase yet. Wait till Red Dress leaves.
Nope, he's just going for it.
He's just going. This could be bad.
Third at the shelf. 2 highlights there.
The test comes off. I think he's going to win this. I don't think he's going to take a bullet for that.
No, doesn't look like it. Magician may be suspicious of it, but not enough to shoot for.
And Canadian Bacon with a huge win coming off on the spiral on Gallery. And suddenly, as he steps into the sniper role, he has a big chance to tie things up here and now.
Wow. Yeah, he's one sniper went away now from tying things up after being down, I think, 5-2 at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, it was indeed 5-2, and he was able to sweep, well, not sweep, able to pick up a couple of quick wins, and now it's 5-4.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. But you know what? It is a small enough format. You know, you're only talking about 10 total games. Just a couple. It really doesn't take much.
Yeah.
Much of a swing to... It's a very small sample size, but, you know, good job.
One thing I keep saying in regard to Spy Party is that it's all about the little things. And usually when I say that, I'm referring to the little things you do as Spy to possibly pick up lowlights or things like that. It works, though, also in just the format all these tournaments are run under. Because you can't have the matches too long, or it just, the tournaments become less and less accessible to people.
Yeah. This is a bit of an ongoing thing, actually, finding the right length for tournament matches.
Yeah.
You know, like you say, if they're long, you know, they're just exhausting and they're too high stress. On the other hand, if they're 8 or 10 games, you know, I hate to say it this way, but the best player doesn't always win at that point.
It's
you know,
true.
and not that they're always going to or always should, but they usually should, right? You can really kill you, you know, if you just get a little bad luck here or there. For example, like someone dances on you. In this case, that has the potential now to swing the match. So you definitely got to find, you know, a balance between the two. I don't know, maybe around 12 or 14 games. Everyone has their own opinion, but when it's 10, every little thing is magnified.
You really don't like that dance, do you?
I'm sorry, I can't. You know what? I have my reasons. This is where, if this were a movie, we'd flash back to the trauma in my past. I don't know if you remember, but during the tournament, in the finals, Slappy won a game dancing against me, and I have PTSD about it.
It's so awesome.
So that's what it's like. I'm like, no, not again. And I get like this glassy look in my eyes. I forgive him. Slappy's fantastic. Slappy's great. But it took me a lot of therapy to be able to say that.
Yeah. Slappy, by the way, the winner of one of the first Spy Party tournaments that ever took place, I believe.
Oh, yeah. I think it was either the second or the third. There was one that I was not in for. I think it was a New Year's Cup. Checker himself did some of the commentary. Everyone was still figuring out how to stream and everything then, so it was very, very slipshod, but everyone did their best. I think the one I played in might have been the second. That was the team one, where Jet and I combined Transformers style to create Warning Cat with our own logo and everything.
Yeah.
And we played way over our heads and beat people we had no business beating, and then Slappy ruined it all in the finals with his dancing. So I'm still deeply bitter. Yeah. I still have flashbacks, you know, like I was in Nam or something.
I think the New Year's Cup was the one that Slappy came out on top on.
No, I definitely wasn't that one. I think it was Memorial Day. That was it. It was Memorial Day.
Right, the Memorial Cup.
Right, that was it. And that was the first one I was ever in. And I remember it very vividly. That was the one where we went into literally 9 overtimes. I remember you casted that specifically. It was a heck of a thing. So yes, I admit I'm a little biased against dancing. A little bit.
All right. Well, big chance for Canadian Bacon here to possibly tie up this match as Magician steps into the spiral on Gallery any 4 of 6 with no Purloin. and no fingerprint. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
No purloin, no fingerprint, and no margin for error. This is for a tie.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
Oh, no.
Tried to get that instant flirt off like we always talk about.
Yeah, hits the red test on it.
And he's so despondent, he goes outside. Nope.
Almost, he was like reverse chasing the seduction target.
Yeah, he's like, you follow me out here, big boy. And it did not work. He said, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not finding you very seductive right now. I don't want to go outside alone with this person I barely know. And now he does. Look at this. She goes back inside, and he's like, well, now I'm good. I'll go up. My good friend Snaps and I trust him.
I guess that red flirt weirded him out a little bit.
Yeah, it was like a really awkward pass, so he's avoiding her now.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's hilarious.
Yeah, maybe try again. Let's see. Maybe get a better pickup line there, Green Dress.
Pulls a blue book all the way outside. Spies love doing that kind of thing. I wonder if Canadian Bacon caught it.
And here comes Green Dress. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Let's see if it works this time.
Well, she's a little bit nervous about it. Here it comes. It worked. It wasn't an amazing line.
Okay.
And he does immediately leave.
Yeah, you know what? I think at this point you just gotta accept defeat, Green Dress. I don't think he's just not that into you.
Yeah, I think so. The banana bread comes off and he immediately steps away to head back in to dump this thing in the red case. He's gonna see if he can pick up a quick flirt beforehand. Not in the best position for it, though.
I like the way spies launder the book by bringing it outside as if that cleanses it of its color, and then they go back in and figure, now I can dump it at the other shelf.
Yeah.
It's like laundering money. You just gotta pass it through a legitimate business.
Yeah.
Not that I know anything about that.
Does hit a green on that one. Once again, his seduction target immediately leaves, but he does pull off the green test for 64%.
Green Dress very
and
persistent.
here's the big moment. It doesn't look like he's taking the shot for this.
No.
Does take the highlight for it, though. Canadian Bacon does
suspicion.
not know where that came from.
Yeah, I think this is I don't know if I saw you there, Green Dress kind of highlight.
Indeed.
But not enough to shoot for. Certainly not enough to shoot for.
Not enough to shoot for, indeed. 98% on the flirt.
I really think this flirt is just destined to fail.
I think so. Only 1 minute left to play. A pretty good cancel on the briefcase.
Magician's his micro on the drinks and briefcases has been fantastic.
It really has.
If this were drawn, he would have been low lit 6 times by now.
Not the best entry to the conversation. Oh, the goddamn freaking seduction target!
My God.
Oh no! He's able to chase into the painting to finally get this thing done. 25 seconds left to play, needs a mission. What's it going to be? It's got to be either the bug or the swap. He's going in for the swap. He's a small model female, so this is a very dangerous situation. And the shot comes off without even him seeing the statue.
Yeah, not enough suspects. Boy, Green Dress got no game that game.
Indeed.
Could not seduce to save her life. Literally! She's dead now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez. Mondo, I guess, figures, I can do better.
And after the brutal seduction, suddenly it's a tie game.
You know what? If not for all those seduces, I think he's seduced either 3 or 4 times over 7 different attempts, maybe, which is really bad. Amazing that he was still in a position to maybe win that game in the final seconds. If he gets that seduce off in a reasonable amount of time, he's got so many more options to set that thing up.
Yeah.
Maybe just inspect a couple times for crying out.
Magician in the chat saying that although he did not see the statue on the swap, he saw that little IK pop.
The pop, yeah. And at that point he's really not looking at anything else, so he's staring right at it.
Yeah.
So good catch still, though. That's not the most visible thing in the world.
It's really not. And to be honest, that statue probably would have gone either up or to the side at some point during that.
Probably, yeah. But then maybe he bails and, dances a little even. It's been known to happen in my nightmares.
Yeah.
But, I gotta say, I think Magician played that really well. That's what I'm talking about. When you play 10 or 12 games, you get unlucky with an ST. Really hurts. Now he's lost 2 games by the narrowest, wackiest of margins.
Well...
So close to winning this thing, and just couldn't quite.
Yeah. But again, there's been a couple for Bacon as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, what's interesting about it is that a lot of Bacon's spy losses were so quick. 2 of them
yeah,
over immediately. Magician has been in every game. It feels like.
yeah.
So I feel like it's been some of them have been very hard to take. But he's been very careful, very cautious. But that doesn't always matter.
Yeah. I think that's just the way Bacon snipes for a lot of it, though. He's a very patient sniper.
Yeah.
He really weighs his options well. He's very good at behaviorism.
Mm-hmm.
Behaviorism.
Yeah, that'll work. Sure.
Yeah.
We'll just call it being like Viri. That's a lot easier to say.
Yes! He's good at that!
Yeah, Viriism, which actually isn't easy to say either, so never mind.
Alright, so...
The pressure's on again.
It really is.
You can really pick him, my friend.
Canadian Bacon. Well, come on! I've got to cast the final!
That's true. But you know what? Even if this were just a casual game, I feel like you would have found it somehow. You've got some sort of stress magnet attached to you. I don't know what it is. Just once, I want to cast like an 8-0 game, and it's just nice and chill. And it's like, wow, they were never in any danger of losing. I guess it wouldn't be very exciting, but at least I wouldn't have a heart attack.
Well, here's the thing. Pretty much all I've been casting lately have been Summer Cup games and ladder matches. There have been no real casual sets going on.
Yeah, they've all been very close and very interesting. So credit to all the players involved, you know.
Indeed, because usually, when I go picking like ladder games, I'll glance at the score lines and like
pick a good one, yeah.
So,
but this time it's just unfolding that way naturally. A very tense tournament.
Indeed. So, stepping in to Veranda. This is a map that some people love and some people can't stand.
Yeah.
I am personally quite a fan of this map. I don't know how Bacon or Magician feel about it, but it is a large map. Any 5 of 7 is the
I think
game
Bacon
type.
likes it a bit, and if I remember right, I think the direct quote during the match was, "Oh God, I hate this map. I really hate this map. I just hate this map." I think that was it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Magician. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Anyways, as Canadian Bacon steps in to this... Yeah, Magician saying he'd be one of the people who can't stand it.
Yeah, I was almost quoting him verbatim there. It was he like said it and then he paused a little bit and said it again. Like, just wanted to really drive home that point.
Yeah. See, the two maps that I'm terrible at, that I just cannot play for the life of me, are... Okay, mainly it's gallery. I cannot gallery at all. And I'm not very good at sniping on Panop.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that gives people fits.
Yeah. So, here we go. It's Veranda. Any 5 of 7 with no fingerprint. Canadian Bacon on the spy. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And you gotta feel bad for Magician. He had a 5-2 lead, has lost 3 in a row, and he's sitting there just trying to hold it together. Hasn't played badly during it.
Yeah, indeed.
Which might make it all the more frustrating.
Yeah. We're having some pretty bad frame dropping issues, so hopefully this gets sorted out. I'm gonna try to cast through this. See how this goes. A big bug coming out of the top for Canadian Bacon. Looks like it went off very cleanly.
Had a little, oh God, the pathing moment early on, but it was during the time of chaos, so he got away with it.
Very nice start for Bacon. That could be massive.
A lot of time to just chill. He got a bug off and he got 2 seduces, so he can really just kind of hang out for a little while.
This has been a very fast start for Canadian Bacon. He could rush this if he wants to, but I don't think that's his style.
No, it definitely is not, and on Veranda in particular, you really can afford to do this. This is the way to play it. When you take advantage like this, it's like the equivalent of a time ad. You got to use it somehow.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're sure you got away clean, and I think at this point he knows he did.
Yeah. You can't really afford to do any crazy rushes on 5 mission maps for the most part.
Pretty tough, pretty hard to do.
Indeed. You can do it on 4, not so much on 5. We seem to have stabilized internet-wise, so we shouldn't be dropping too many frames anymore. Canadian Bacon stepping in to the statue to pick up his pair of inspects and his highlight while he's at it, but he's still way ahead. He's going to need to find one more hard tell. But he's still looking like he's in a very good spot here. There's a chance to finish this up at the window. We'll see how this goes.
Wow.
Does take the neutral light, does not get the seduce done.
Yeah, nice little bounce off general. I guess that did it for him.
Yep. Frames are dropping again.
And he's picking up the briefcase. I guess he's thinking, you know, got the time for this still. I don't know if he does any more, though. He's sure acting like he does. I wonder if maybe he's thinking about not going for missions after all.
I don't know why. With such a fast start, I feel like you almost have to go for the missions.
And again, bug not evident, so it's not like he can induce a shot by doing a BB. He doesn't know he's bugged.
Very, very nice briefcase return there. Not many people will actually go for a return once the ambassador's walking. Steps in for the double agent. No highlight. White test comes off.
You gotta wonder if it's gonna be seduce, inspect, swap. Maybe that seems the only way he can get it done in time.
It does. He's wasted a lot of time on this.
We'll see. He's gonna have to get moving one way or the other, though.
Indeed, he is.
And he does.
Stepping into one of the front statues, so I don't think swap is going to be what he goes for. Does pick up a highlight for it.
For the second time in the set, Magician highlights him for a statue visit, neutralites him, and then highlights him for a second statue visit a second
Indeed.
time.
45 seconds left to play. Inspect is done. He needs one flirt and a hard tell. But what hard tell is it going to be?
Well, Purloin's easiest to combine with flirt while you're there.
It is.
He's gonna need this. I think he might need a green here. I'm not sure how close he is.
I think he can do it on a white. He hits the green either way.
That could be
Get
big.
this done. 20 seconds left to play. Time is running very, very short, and the shot comes off.
Wow.
What a bullet from Magician there.
Wow, that's got to be a tough shot. Now he might have been able to see Toby being called over a little bit, but it didn't look too bad. He'd finished rejecting from someone else just then. Boy, I don't know. I mean, he obviously didn't see any kind of swap, but maybe he was counting on missing that bug. Maybe he said, you know what, I think I missed something.
Yeah.
And I don't see anyone else suspicious enough. He probably remembered that highlight was actually for a second statue visit, though.
Indeed. But
if you could do that, if you can bump down the statue highlights, but still somehow remember that they're going twice, then you can get a lot of value out of those highlights and lowlights.
Yeah.
Whew.
Wow. That was a very risky shot to take, but oh my god, that was massive coming out of Magician there.
Those are two very tough, very instinctual shots by Magician that right now could be the difference.
Indeed. I've been hoping that the internet is going to stabilize a little bit for for a longer period of time than what we had, but I may have to start streams at 7 now.
Oh my. Well, we'll make it work if we have to.
Yeah, we'll make it work. Oh well. Hopefully we'll see how it goes tomorrow, and then I'll make the call. But anyways, Magician up by 1 as he steps into the spiral on Veranda. 5 of 7. Let's see how this goes with no fingerprint. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
He's played very well as Spy.
He has.
Even most of the ones he's lost, have been very winnable games. He really hasn't thrown any away that I can remember. So, maybe not such a huge disadvantage to have to play a Spy right now.
Indeed. Magician has been very, very solid on this roll for pretty much this entire match. A quick flirt and go. It's a 32%.
Yeah, Bacon would have had to been really looking at him very closely to notice. He popped in, flirted, and left.
Yeah. It's a very, very popular little move, especially on larger maps coming off the top of a game. And there's his second one to 62%, but at 62, he's still going to need a green because the best you can get on a white test is indeed 34%. A very nice in-convo bug. Capitalizing
invisible.
On, Ambassador walked in next to him and he took it completely invisible. Brilliant
Bacon was
little
right
move.
There. Bacon was right there. He would have had to been zoomed in and looking for head movements to catch that. That would have been really tough. So great opportunity for sure, but done perfectly.
Absolutely. Ambassador lined it up absolutely fantastically for him. And all really Magician had to do there was recognize the opportunity he was given, and he did just that. The right click finishes a mission.
virtually identical to Bacon's start. He had about 60% of flirt, got away with a bug clean, and then went to statues, just like this.
Indeed. Bacon, though, not necessarily one to highlight for statues, and it looks like Magician is going to get away with this neutral lit.
Yeah. He resists trying to flirt by the bookshelf, and it ends up being wise because Buckswaggle leaves fairly shortly after.
Indeed. A little bit of an odd couple of bounces there. Ah! That third one was not great, but it doesn't look like it was caught.
The pathing.
Looking to finish up his flirt here, is not able to hit the green. He's up to 93%. 2 minutes left to play. Still needs to get a hardtail done.
Yeah, he's busy. He's running around.
He really is. Lots of movement. A couple of weird bounces.
Yeah, hasn't been caught, but he's done 3 or 4 of those. It's actually been one of his sloppier spy games, but it's actually going better than some of them.
Indeed.
You can get away with a lot of that on Veranda, though. A lot of that little stutter step where you're walking too close behind someone or slam into them briefly, you can really get away with that on Veranda more than other maps.
Indeed. Picks up the 1 cycle at the statue. Still no highlight. Minute and 25 left to play.
When you consider that any flirt and a BB gets him to 4 missions, he's not too far behind.
He's not. The flirt comes off, but he still needs a hard tell. And the double agent not being kind.
Yeah. The hardtail might end up being the easy part if the double agent doesn't help.
Here it comes. This might be the hardtail right here.
We gotta wonder if Bacon's baiting that a little bit.
It's not. He does not go for the purloin.
It really looked like a bait too, so that might have been a wise decision.
Indeed. 50 seconds left to play. 3 missions done. This is a tight spot here. Looks like it's gonna look like some cheese.
He's not visible right now at the red bookshelf. We'll see.
He does step away with it. I feel like Bacon was trying to bait the cheese.
Ooh,
Here comes the banana bread. It is white.
Stop, talks, and leaves. Not that visible while it happens either.
And here comes the cheese. Bacon's on the other side. Does he remember? There's the mission completion. Does he know? It doesn't look like he does. The highlight comes off, but
Nope.
there is no shot. Magician coming away with the win there.
Well,
That
cheese
was
does go
massive.
Cheese does go pretty well with Bacon. Bacon staring at the guest list when it happened. Clearly more concerned about that, and understandably so. And the highlight that told you several seconds before that he wasn't going to shoot. No reason to do that unless he's going to wait it out. And by the way, just like the first game, Magician played as Spy, where he won on missions. Really didn't look like Bacon expected him to finish. I think the same thing this game. Bacon is very good at letting people time out. So if you can be aggressive enough, that can really work to your advantage because he's not necessarily going to take that aggressive shot. He'd rather let you time out. So. Wow, big win.
Absolutely. Is this match point?
I think so. I've had a little bit of trouble following the exact rules because they changed for the finals, but
Well,
I think it is.
Let me look it up just to make sure. May as well double check. Want to get the facts right.
Yes.
See just how stressful this is right now.
Yeah. Boy, I got to say, either way, though, what a match so far. A Magician just jumping out to that huge lead, almost blowing it, like giving up the tie after all that. And I'm thinking, oh, God, the pathos. I feel so sorry for you. But, but winning 2 more right off the bat here like this on Veranda after the tie. What a way to come back, not let it get to you.
Indeed.
Very easy to let that happen. Very easy to get down, a little frustrated. We've seen the best players in the world get that way.
Indeed.
Very understandable. Yeah. But kept his head, and I think he knew that even though he'd lost a few, he was playing well.
Yeah.
And there really wasn't any reason to mix it up or change your style. What he's doing has been working for the most part. So he sticks with it, and he's being rewarded now.
So this is indeed match point.
Yeah, great position to be in after a lot of tough ones.
Absolutely. CanadianBacon stepping into the spiral on Panopticon 5 of 7.
Nice.
Indeed it is. So I've decided that I am indeed going to switch to 7 o'clock because I hate my internet fist shake. So, yeah. From now on...
I think we all agree that the internet is terrible.
No, the internet's great. My internet, not so much. So, yes. From now on, the shows are going to be starting at 7 o'clock. But, CanadianBacon on the Spy, fighting for his life, any 5 of 7 with no swap in 3, 2, 1, playing it. So fingerprint is indeed available.
Not sure what I think about that yet. I'm not really sure about fingerprint on this map. Swap, though, pretty viable still. More viable than on some maps.
Ooh, nice, quick 50% flirt from the window. Big green coming out of him there. Magician saying that this is actually his favorite map.
Oh, yep, nope, this was aborted. I remember. Sorry, I should have remembered sooner. They had to abort this game for stuttering.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and actually, I don't know about your version, but on my version, the spy camera actually doesn't even work properly.
It seems to be working fine. Let me step out of this.
Yeah.
Pull off casting mode for a second here. Can't even remember what the... Can't even remember what the hotkey is for that.
Tab changes camera, but
No,
yeah.
I meant for like pulling off casting mode.
Oh, right, yes, yeah.
I thought it was like Control-Alt-C or something like that, but it's not working.
So anyway, yeah, network problems for them. I asked to turn it off pretty quickly into the game, as you can see, about 30 seconds in. So,
okay.
You know, Bacon agrees.
Magician said I was on the right game.
Okay, well, no, you were on the right game, yeah, but it ended after 30 seconds. They stopped it dead. That's why it says in progress.
Hang on. Okay, let me.
You skipped it. Oh, okay. Well, it's in my zip file and not yours then.
Let me just pull off casting mode to see what happens.
Okay.
Was this? Yeah, casting mode. Apparently, if you have casting mode on, I think it just doesn't show games that were in progress.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually accurate. Checker,
wow.
You are awesome. That's cool.
I had no idea.
I did not know that was a thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that settles it.
Yeah.
I wasn't in casting mode.
When in casting mode, it removes games that are in progress. Who knew?
Well, okay. Well, there we go. Well, then let's give this one another try. Now we know. That's perfect.
Indeed. So, once again, Bacon on the... What just happened to my scoreboard? Hang on.
I don't know.
Okay. For some reason, my scoreboard was reading 2-7.
That doesn't sound quite right.
Don't worry, I fixed it. It's 5-7.
Okay.
Magician in the lead. Bacon on the spiral. 5 of 7. Panopticon. With no swap. In 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
It can't be 2-7. That would be far too relaxing and enjoyable.
It's going to be powder blue. On the spiral. Here's that sweet window flirt I was talking about.
You know he's a good spy because to wear that color, you gotta be very brave.
Indeed. Green flirt at the window. 50% there. Gorgeous start coming out of him.
Magician confirms that he's pretty sure he needs to win just one of the next 2 games to end the match. Bacon needs them both.
That is completely correct.
Yeah. So not as much pressure as normal, especially with Bacon as spy here. But, you know, still, he's been in this position before where he could knock him off and he couldn't quite finish him.
Yep, Magician on match point here. He has 2 of them. Canadian Bacon fighting for his life.
This is the bigger one, though, of the 2, for sure.
It very much is.
This is his best chance to end it. You do not want to go another round by giving up both of these.
Absolutely. That would be dramatic as all hell.
I'll have my limits.
See,
hopefully not. I don't want to pass out.
I call it drama, you call it stress.
Yeah, right. It's 2 sides of the same coin.
So, yellow book in hand, 1 flirt done. Canadian Bacon playing this very slowly as he's looking to drop this book somewhere, I think. Before he does that, he's going to go for the flirt.
Might as well put a little more time between you picking up the book and you dropping the book off.
I think he, if possible, would like to put this in red.
Yeah, because he was hanging out there for a little while. I do think that'd be a slightly better fit for him. Also, blue jacket.
Does pick up the 2 flirt, which is fantastic considering how slow he's playing this.
Yeah, pretty good shape. If he can dump this book off clean, he'll be in a pretty good position. But if he wants to do something like fingerprint, he's going to have to get moving. He's already down to 2 minutes.
Indeed. Time is definitely running short here. Would like to get a banana split off this on the way out to the red bookcase.
Yeah, that would get it done. It would cover the book a little bit more too. Maybe get a low light. It'd be a really good fit here if he can do it.
Indeed. Doesn't look like he's going for it, though. Really spending a lot of time.
Yeah.
In being
I think when he
inconspicuous.
entered, there were a lot more people in conversation. It was kind of borderline, and then 2 or 3 more left, and he thought, well, now I can't.
Yeah. It almost feels like he's trying to induce.
Yeah. He does that sometimes. He'll actually start very strong, and then he'll try to induce anyway. Oh, no talking in that conversation for a little bit.
Only a minute and 20 left to play. Only the one mission done. I don't think he's going to go for it here.
No, he's going to have to induce soon now.
Does go to the blue bookcase, though, to put this book back. I don't know if I agree with that. He's only got a minute left to play. I don't think he can get a mission win.
I guess he could BB, and then he could do the inspect swap all in one, but that's super risky at the end of the game like this. I don't know if, I mean, he could technically cram it in if he had to, but I can't imagine
It's
that.
gonna be really tight, though. I don't know if this is gonna happen. Only 45 seconds left to play. Has a chance for a nice bug. Pick up the big green purloin here as he steps away. Into bookcase?
I think
what was that?
Well, I think he wants the guest list to be purloined invisible and induce a shot. Microfilm is an invisible hardtail.
Here it is. There's the purloin coming off. It was. I think that was a misfire, but he won it anyways.
He won it anyway. And by the way, he was just starting an actual banana bread. I think he was going to inspect right after that.
Wow. What a finish from Bacon there.
He was going to try to cram that inspect in with like 10 seconds left.
He was indeed. And suddenly Canadian Bacon has a chance to pull this into overtime as Magician steps into the spiral, fighting for victory. In any 5 of 7.
Can I watch the game like this, like through my fingers? Is that okay?
Well, as long as you can see it.
Okay, fair enough.
So, Magician on the spy, no swap. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Have I mentioned lately that Spy Party is the worst game ever? Have I mentioned? It's terrible. It's the worst game. It's like this and checkers, like that 1 and 2.
Bacon has a big chance to pull this into overtime right here and now.
He's low lit. He's low lit.
Magician's
low lit.
Wait.
Magician's low lit.
Wait.
You want to start over? You want to start over?
What just said? Okay. Yeah.
Let's start that one over.
Let's start that over. Okay. 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Let's watch very closely.
What happened? All right, let's look at this.
Moving around. Whoa, I don't know. He just
it was the bouncing. It was the bouncing.
Yep. Well, I have a slight memory of this, and Magician maybe can confirm if he's seen the video afterwards. I think I remember Bacon saying something about assuming that he would take instant control.
Yeah, that's.
And so that anyone bouncing in the early going would get a low light, which is such an aggressive assumption to make. I don't remember anything in his earlier games to indicate that he was definitely going to do that.
Wow.
But makes that assumption, and now, as you can see, this is not a gimme though. A lot of people don't finish missions in time. If you don't know you're low lit, if you have no reason to think you're low lit, you can be very cautious and lose anyway. So we'll have to see. It's going to have to see whether or not he plays a solid game of Spy without knowing that.
Oh, man.
It's going to be all about Magician. He's not going to realize it. There's no way for him to realize it.
That is a brutal start for Bacon there.
It is the downside of one of his strengths, though. Oh, look at that.
Oh. It's okay. It wasn't visible anyways. Bacon was on the other end of the map. Couldn't have seen it.
It's nice to be a low light rather than a highlight, because otherwise he'd be a 6'4" man glowing, running into a waiter, and I think that'd be pretty hard to miss.
Absolutely.
Radioactive danger, brother.
Yeah. Pulls out the red book.
Oh.
Flirts.
Boy, just no, not lucky in love tonight for Magician.
No, he's really not.
Oh. And that could really hurt him because, like we said, he doesn't know he's low lit, so it's really going to depend on him having, good timing, good pacing, getting through his missions at a solid clip, because he'll almost definitely get away with them if he does that.
And right now, he's just not. Only 2 minutes left to play, and not a whole lot of progress. But the time ad does come off, and
That'll make it from.
he really did need that.
Yeah, good sense there. That could be all the difference here. Left a little quick for sure. I gotta say though, time ads and really bad bugs are one of the only ways that low-lets get shot. Low-lets get shot anyway. Because they can be very noticeable. Yeah. Thank goodness.
Action test ignored on the double agent.
That's interesting. I wonder at this. You gotta wonder at this point if maybe he's just starting to suspect just a little bit then. But
maybe.
I don't know.
But I don't know how I feel about dumping that in yellow case if you don't know you're low lit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to tell how good this game is right now because, he's low lit. It's hard.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how obvious some of this is.
There's a lot of little things he's doing that I'm not a huge fan of, but he's low lit. So.
Ooh. And given the fact that he's already still low on time, the fact that he's going to need a second statue visit after this one, little iffy.
Might just go statue to statue though.
Yeah, maybe. I think that's what I would do. Ooh, broken animation there.
Petition in the chat. Pathing is not my strong suit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at most of the suits in this party, there aren't a whole lot of strong suits.
Indeed.
They're white, yellow, blue, and I think this is a giant pantsuit on danger here.
Minute and 15 left to play.
He cut a statue animation too. That's another way a low light can get high lit in a hurry. But I don't think it was seen.
I don't think so. But again, very low on time. Magician is not one to not finish missions though.
Right, they've got that going for him.
Yeah.
And if he inspects swap here, he'll be fine. He's got one more inspect to go and one more mission.
Magician's the kind of person who, if he doesn't think he's going to get it done, he will rush rather than let himself time out.
He just read my mind. With a full conversation there, it's a perfect time, especially with the waiter around, to go over and swap that statue.
Absolutely. And there's the inspect, but swap is off.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I bet you wish it
was
the
bug! The huge opportunity for the bug! There it is! The wrong arm comes off! And ladies and gentlemen, Magician...
He's gonna win this.
With the big win coming off of the finale.
Whew.
Wow.
Wow, that was huge.
That's the second game Canadian Bacon's lost to a lowlight.
That's the downside. He won a couple because he didn't have many people to look at, so that helps. Let's see here. Boy, that bug's still kind of visible from the sniper side if you want to take a look at it.
I absolutely do. Let's have another look at this. Let's actually slow motion this.
Yeah. Hitch in his step, and you can see the arm a little bit. But again, it's just really hard to be looking for that. At that point, it only works if you're thinking, I really think I might have low-lit someone. I should reevaluate.
Well, here's the ambassador coming in. We watch as the laser doesn't see it. There it is. There's the arm coming out.
If he were looking at it, if he were looking at his lowlights and thinking I might have missed someone, definitely catchable, but not otherwise because of the lowlight.
You couldn't. There wasn't any sort of waving going on. It was just that you could see that the arm wasn't swinging.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
People, especially at this high of a level, are so used to seeing that kind of thing. It's something they will absolutely shoot for, but.
Yeah, geez, I gotta give Magician credit.
Absolutely.
He knew he needed the time ad, and he did it. Good instincts there. And a lot of people just sort of accept their fate when they're low on time.
Yeah.
But time ad's a good weapon, although you do see a lot of time ads around that point in the game too, so a good sniper knows to look for it because that's when people realize they don't have enough time. But he really managed to cram those missions in at the very end. Definitely a bummer. I think he really wished he'd left swap on there at the end, given that he made no attempt at fingerprint anyway. It would have fit really well, and he would have gotten away with it, but the low light does it, and look, that's the thing, Bacon has his strengths, the weaknesses are related to the strengths, so while there's certainly an element of luck involved, I'm sure it cost him a couple of games that there were so many aggressive low lights. This is the flip side.
Absolutely. What a match, though. That was an incredible set. Yeah,
Magician jumps out to a big lead, and you think it's going to be over real quick, drops 3 in a row, then wins 3 more afterwards. What a swing.
This was just a fantastic set. I had an amazing time casting with this. Thanks a ton to both Magician and Canadian Bacon for the games. Thanks to you for coming out to cast with me.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for picking another one. And and we're splitting the cost on the defibrillator. Okay,
Okay.
we really are.
I'll
This is partially your fault.
I'll try to get a casual set for us next Friday.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Something with something. It can be close. Just not so many stakes. I'm kind of part of me's glad the tournament's over for sure.
All right.
Congratulations to Magician for winning the whole thing. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
That's the
King of
tournament.
Summer? Yeah, is he Summer King, or is there like a name for it? Is he like President or Emperor of the Summer? I don't know.
Here's what I'm going to say. For now, until we come up with any wacky titles, maybe in the forum or something like that, Canadian Bacon, the runner-up, Magician, the champion of the second annual Spy Party Summer Cup.
I like that. Little long to put on a plaque or anything, but if we're just saying it, I'm down.
It's long and it sounds dramatic.
It does. It sounds very official. Second annual.
Yes.
It's an annual tradition, Tobo.
It is. It is as of now.
Yes, it is as of now.
Well, I guess it is as of the time it became announced.
Right. And
So.
he's going to have to defend it next year.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm sure it'll be just as stressful.
Yeah. Big upset with Kaylee not even making the tournament bracket this year. No one saw that coming.
Yeah, when you pull it back, you certainly think that. Although I think he lost to Bacon, I think that's why, and that's a pretty even match, I would say, most of the time.
Yeah.
So if anything, I mean, no, not to put down Magician at all, but I think this is a bit of an upset here. You know, I think most people probably would have picked Bacon, understandably so, but Magician playing really, really strong. I was watching some of this live when it happened, and I was just really impressed by some of the shots. And by the way, I really liked watching it on dual stream because they were talking over each other, and it was hilarious. There was one point,
I saw your post where it was like
the post where Bacon says this is really good, and then 1 second later, Magician says this isn't good.
Yeah.
Like he could sense it. They were really in tune with the game. And you could hear the meta on both sides simultaneously, and it was just fantastic. It was a great show.
I was I was a little bit disappointed because I would have loved to watch this live, but it's like I'm keeping tabs on the forums to make sure I don't miss anything. And then I go to school, and then I come back, and the game's already been scheduled and happened.
Yeah, it's already happened. They kind of stuck it in there in the afternoon. Yeah. So, but at least you got to watch it live like this.
Absolutely. So, a little bit of housekeeping before I step away. The schedule has changed a couple of times recently. The way we're doing things now is the Friday show here with Warning Track, and then one on Saturday and one on Sunday every week. I have just tonight decided to change it to 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern start time in hopes that my internet will be more cooperative. But I would like to thank you once again very much for coming out to cast with me, and everybody in the chat who watched, because yay.
Yeah, and don't forget, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that means you can binge watch Tobo. Like TV show. You could, like, season 4 of The Wire. You can just take it all in at once.
And I guess that's gonna be it for us. So, until next time, this is Toboshi and Warning Track. Signing off.